A woman has been indicted for manslaughter by a Penobscot County grand jury after a fatal shooting in Bangor in April. 20-year-old Olivia Babin of Bangor is accused of shooting her boyfriend, 24-year-old Daniel Ford Coates. Police were called to Highland Ave around 4:30 in the morning. Officers say Babin lied to them, saying another man who was there but left was the one who shot Ford Coates. Others who were there told police that after a night of doing drugs and drinking, Babin was joking around with the gun and shot him. She remains in jail on a $100,000 bail.